So my example for self-care and how it works is a soda bottle. So you know when you have a soda bottle, and I don't know if I shared this with you before, but you have a soda bottle, and what happens if you shake it up?
Okay, it like fizzes up to the point
It has
where
all
it
this
explodes.
pressure in
Right,
it.
pressure. Yeah,
And so what happens when you open that top?
it'll explode.
It explodes.
Yeah,
And whoever is around that soda bottle when it explodes,
yeah,
it's going to get soda on them, whether they wanted soda that day or not.
right.
And so that bottle is your body.
Yeah,
And so if you're walking around with all these layers, they're indirect layers that you don't
yeah.
even realize is getting on you are getting on you. Sorry.
Mm,
You don't
yeah.
realize you're carrying all these layers on you until one day it just explodes.
Mm,
And it explodes inappropriately. You may be lashing out at people that don't deserve it, or you just have a breakdown. So that's why it's important to do self-care, because self-care is like twisting the top a little bit just to let some of the pressure out.
yeah,
Not all at one time, but every time you meditate, every time you exercise, every time you take deep breaths, you're letting a little bit of that pressure out of that bottle to where you can open a bottle and nothing's going to come out. It's just going to simmer, which is what it needs to be healthy.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And that, oh man, that's big. I like that illustration, and that's one thing about leadership, man. That we really need to pay more attention to is that, well, in education we call it that social emotional learning, SEL. We hear it all the time, and that emotional intelligence, because a part of that includes being able to know how your body responds to certain things and
yes.
know what triggers your body, and finding um, the right thing to cope, as you mentioned, the right thing to deal with it, the right thing to do to release that pressure. And a lot of people, they get this idea that when they're a leader, then you know
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much they're on top of the world, and they're ruling this. They're telling people to do this and telling people they're running things. A lot of people, they want that. They want to feel like they have that type of power. But one thing about leadership, and especially in the mental health field, one thing about leadership, not only are you dealing with the things that you're dealing with on a daily basis,
Yeah.
but now other people, the people that you're leading, they're also piling things up on your plate, you
Yeah.
know. And so, what you going to do then? If you can't handle what you're going through, if you don't have those tools, those coping mechanisms, whatever it is that you need to keep your stuff at bay,
Yes.
you know, I feel like you need to have that straight before you step into on this platform to do it the right way. Because if you don't have it, either you're going to neglect yourself or you're going to
Hmm.
neglect the people who are believing in you as a leader. And you don't want to do either of those things.
And what are you showing them?
Right.
You're showing them to not take care of
Not
yourself?
right. Lead
And
by
how are you
example.
going to pour into somebody else when you don't have anything to pour?